as it is right now. But I like working with people.
You know, we see Joshua and Ruiz getting ready for December 7th. Both of them have slimmed down, which is a bit of a surprise. We expected probably Ruiz getting in a bit more fit looking, but it appears that Joshua stripped off some of the muscle mass and whatnot. What do you make of that decision?
I think it was a great decision because Joshua was having trouble carrying that muscle around. And in the later rounds, he was fading in the later rounds over, and like big biceps and stuff like that weren't really helping him. And it was really, really great for him to get back, get that fat. But on the other side, though, I like him better fat. I've always said he's always fought better when he's heavier. He absorbs punches well. He throws the best combinations in the world. He won the world title being a fat guy. What's wrong with that? They want to make it look like appear to be a better person or something like this just because he's skinnier. I think it's a foolish. I don't like the move for him. No, because I've known him long enough where. I like him better when he's heavy. I think he's a much better fighter.
That might be the first time in history you see a trainer say, he's better fat.
Wow, those are the words of Freddie Roach. Of course, I reported this a couple weeks ago where Freddie Roach did say that it was a mistake for Andy Ruiz to lose that weight. And Joshua, it's a better idea for him to lose the weight. So for and against, because of, of course, the big biceps and stuff, but that only slowed him down, made him tired or whatever. And I'm talking about Joshua. So I do agree with that. That's something that Freddie Roach said a long time ago. This is before the loss. OK, so, of course, it's consistent with what he says. It's all about consistency. When people start changing up or something, everyone's entitled to change their mind about certain things. But if you're really constant and you're consistent with what you're saying, it shows where you stand. It shows that you have a solid foundation on how you think, okay? Now, as far as Andy Ruiz, he thinks it's a bad idea because he's known him. He's trained with Ruiz. He knows Ruiz, and he looks like a better fighter. I think Ruiz is a better fight, is a good fighter anyway. My counterpunch on Ruiz losing weight, I think he's a good fighter all around. The only thing is, I think not that he makes him a less better fighter when he's smaller. I think it makes him not as good as a puncher because I think the actual weight gives him more power behind his shots. That's what I personally think. And if he loses that, that's what it is. That's my only objection of it, because Ruiz, they say speed is power. I understand that. But then when you're fighting someone that you're punching him not as hard. And don't get me wrong, Ruiz has been doing this since he was 6 years old. So the man knows how to punch. And it doesn't look like those punches were landing anything less, especially when those pad works. But I did realize, and this is the first time I mentioned this on this video, that, the guy that was working the pads, he actually hit him with a left hook. And he took the shot, but then in the scheme of things, the guy wasn't oh my God, falling all over the place like Mike Tyson hit him. You know what I'm saying? So, but he was hit flush with a shot because he just didn't see it. I guess the pad was down, and Ruiz, I guess he threw an extra punch there. It happens, especially when your adrenaline's up, and you're hitting pads and someone's holding them for you. You can kind of go off. But that's why you pay attention to what drills you're actually doing, because you don't want to hurt the people that's trying to help you. I had that done for me. I was in Grand Tunica, Mississippi, and, I'm helping a guy, warm up, and then he throws 2 or 3 body shots at me. I'm like, dude, we're not even working on body shots. What are you doing? So, yeah, you have to be mindful of that. But the reason I mention that is because he did get caught, that pad man, that was holding the pads and doing the pad work, did get caught with a left hook by Andy Ruiz. And it really, and this guy wasn't a big guy. He was a lot smaller than Andy, and he took the punch well. I think it was Mexican too. In fact, I think that was his strength and conditioning coach that took that shot. You know what I mean? And, Andy commits to those left hooks. He's a hooker. So that's his best punch. Hooks, with the left hook, with the right hook. He throws looping shots. You know what I mean? And they're beautiful combinations. So, you know, Freddie Roach, again, doesn't like that idea. You know, he might be onto something. And if he would know, if it would be anyone that knowed, it would be him. However, they have a game plan that they're following. And I hope that game plan works out for them because, you know, him losing weight. But also what Freddie Roach meant by that was, you know, you're going to lose the weight. You're thinking you're going to be a better person, smaller, or you're skinnier because you lose weight. And, you know, that's one of the dangers that happens in becoming famous or becoming more known. And, you know, because Andy Ruiz's popularity as well as salary has increased, right? Tenfold. And one thing about Hollywood or being a celebrity, that Hollywood mentality that you have to be smaller in order to be accepted. You know, that's what Freddie Roach was talking about. And it's not about that. Chris Farley wasn't like that. John Belushi wasn't like, John Belushi wasn't like that. You know, John Candy, you know, countless other people, you know, they were funnier or they had their own identity because they were their size. They weren't smaller people. That was the point. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone's meant to be small, you know? Not everyone can look like Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt or anything like that, or Anthony Joshua on the muscular end. Not everyone's supposed to look like that. Everyone has their own build. And his build, you know, took him to the highest heights. He's the unified heavyweight first Mexican champion of the world. That shows volumes. How did he do it? When did he do it? He did it when he was fat. You know, so my thing is, again, of course, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But we will see if it will help him. If the losing the weight could make him faster on his feet. If it can make his hands faster also, because he already has some fast hands. You know what I'm saying? You know, so they say speed is power. Let's see if that philosophy works. Anyway, that's my counterpunch on that. You guys tell me what you think about Freddie Roach's comments. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.